Jiro frowned and asked, "Mr. Liang, is your boss not satisfied with the ratio? How about this? If we cooperate, you will get 70% of the net profit, and we will get 30%, and give you the bulk. This kind of shows my sincerity." Liang smiled indifferently. "Sorry, our boss said that non-cooperation means non-cooperation. It has nothing to do with the share ratio. Mr. Kobayashi, please go back." You. Jiro stood up in irritation and said coldly, "Mr. Liang, don't think that you can run unimpeded with a good medicine. I tell you, if Kobayashi is really urgent, Kobayashi can still play with you the price war. Believe it or not, starting tomorrow, Kobayashi Wizen will be sold at 50% off. Even if your medicine is effective, what about it? Once the price war starts, your profit margin will drop indefinitely." Liang said, "Mr. Kobayashi, if you want to fight a price war, we will naturally not be afraid. But then again, since our boss is unwilling to cooperate with you, then we don't need to waste our tongue here. If you have anything, if you are dissatisfied, or if you have any strategies or ideas, you can go back and use them to your heart's content, and I will not accompany you." After speaking, he said to the secretary, "Send off the guests." Jiro was very annoyed. He actually didn't want to fight a price war with JX. After all, to fight a price war is the last resort. If the effects of the two products are similar, a price war at this time is tantamount to killing 1,000 enemies and losing 800. But if the efficacy of the two products is much worse, and there is a price war at this time, it would be equivalent to killing 100 enemies and self-defeating 1,000. After all, although the efficacy of Kobayashi Wizen is much worse, the cost is not lower than JX's. Moreover, because Japan's labor costs are relatively high, and the cost of export shipping and tariffs is not low, the cost of Kobayashi's Wizen is much higher than that of JX Wizen, which is much more potent. If everyone drops the price to 100 a box, then Kobayashi Wizen may lose money and sell it, but JX Wizen may have a profit of 10 to 20 per box. Therefore, Jiro is just trying to do without a price war. If he is really allowed to fight, he has no such confidence. After thinking about it, he felt that his real solution was to steal the prescription. As soon as he returned to his car, Jiro couldn't wait to ask his assistant, "Is the Japanese master in Orus Hill now?" The assistant hurriedly reported to him, "President, I have mobilized a total of 16 masters this time, of which 9 have already been here, and the remaining 7 will arrive before tonight." "Okay, very good." Jiro nodded and said, "Let them set up an ambush on this road tonight, tie that Liang to me, and then torture him severely. We must let him hand in the prescriptions and formulas." Whenever Chinese patent medicines, the prescription is important, and the formula is also very important. The prescription contains all the types of medicinal materials needed for this medicine and the corresponding amount of each medicinal material. If there are the same 10 kinds of medicinal materials, and the proportion of each medicinal material is different, the medicinal effects produced are also worlds different. It is possible that if a certain medicinal material is too much or less, it will turn this kind of medicine that can save people into a poison that can harm people. So Jiro also knew that even if he could figure out what ingredients were in it, it would be difficult to formulate the correct ratio. If you rely on guesswork and experimentation, it may not be possible to figure it out within a few years. In case this medicine contains more ingredients, it may not be available in 10 or 20 years. As for the formula, it is related to the pharmaceutical process. The current proprietary traditional medicines are basically processed and extracted by modern methods. Some medicinal materials need to be fermented, some medicinal materials need to be reacted, and some need to be added before or after other medicinal materials to be effective. Such as the concept of drug primer in traditional medicine. This is like a complicated chemical reaction formula. In addition to the core raw materials, there is also a catalyst. When will the catalyst be added? How much to add? These are very important. In case there is a slight mistake, it is a small mistake and 1,000 miles away. So the safest and fastest method is to get the entire prescription and formula directly. The International College Student Sonda competition is over. The moment Ao Shui wore a gold medal and threw herself into Charlie's arms in the backstage lounge, the little girl cried so much that it rained. The reason for crying is because of excitement on the one hand, and thanks on the other hand. Before that, Ao Shui had never thought that one day she could win the world championship. So at this time, she was extremely excited. Ao Shui also knew very well that the reason why she was able to have such a fortune was entirely because her beloved master was helping behind, and the help he brought to her was so great that she could not describe it in words. When she threw herself into Charlie's arms, Chin Gang and Steven consciously left the lounge. Ao Shui, who only wore a sports tube top and shorts, hugged Charlie tightly, ignoring that she was still a girl who had never fallen in love. While holding Charlie tightly, she choked down on his chest and said, "Master, thank you so much. If it weren't for you, Ao Shui would never have won this gold medal." Charlie lightly patted Ao Shui's back, and said very seriously, "You have to remember that the greater your ability, the greater your responsibility. Winning this game is actually just the beginning. Next, you must continue to work hard. Training and facing the next Olympics. If you can get a gold medal in the next Olympics, then you will really win glory for the country." Ao Shui hurriedly said, "Master, I have never participated in the Olympics before. Don't know if our country's Olympic Committee can look down upon me." Every Olympics has a corresponding Olympic Committee, and every one of them participates in the Olympics. All of the athletes are selected by the Olympic Committee. Only after the committee selects, joins the national team and is placed in the Olympic squad, can they have the opportunity to participate in the Olympics.